Melody, and welcome to Fire Emblem Theory. The game is Awakening, and the last theory of the year we're going to go over is going to be about Laurent, son of Miriel. I think I'm saying that right.
Probably.
But first, the obligatory fan art! Well, they're both fan art and gifts, so... First is this squid version of me with my trusty octobrush. I was gifted this as part of Splat Santa for Christmas. This is what I was given by Joel J, and in return, I was their Santa, and I made them this. I really love this. And the rainbow in the background. This second one was done by SF member Ricky, for my birthday. 3 weeks early, Ricky. But it's so damn cute. It's based on my older design, but any design is really acceptable. Still cute. Thank you, Ricky. Moving on, though. Laurent, I suppose, could be the equivalent of Robin to Lucina and her group. For the most part, he's rational and calm. Even if Morgan is part of this timeline, Laurent could be the tactician of the group, and possibly he and Morgan work together for the group. He's much like his mother with studying different things, but he puts his skill into finding practical uses for his magic, among other things. He's also known to help with keeping track of food and finances. Miriel, on the other hand, doesn't really have a common sense set in reality, or really an understanding of how to talk to people. Laurent, though, will check up on people and is well opposite of his mother as much as he can be.
So, let's see who Miriel can marry. We've got Frederick, Virion, Stahl, Vike, Keelam, Donnel, Loncu, Ricken, Gaius, Gregor, Libra, and Henry.
And we can cross out Frederick, Virion, Stahl, Vike, Keelam, Loncu, Ricken, Gaius, Gregor, and Henry. We only have Donnel and Libra to look at, people.
Then let's look at their classes. Miriel starts with Mage and has access to Dark Mage and Troubadour. Laurent starts as a Mage with access to Barbarian and then Dark Mage. Looking at Donnel and Libra, Donnel starts as a Villager with access to Mercenary and Fighter. Libra starts as a Priest with access to Mage and Dark Mage.
Libra has 2 classes in common with Laurent, though I'll give a pass to Donnel with the Fighter class because it's still a class that uses Axis and, just like Barbarian, Axis. Next, the growth rates. Let's compare Laurent to his mother. Laurent has better strength than Miriel, but they both have equal stats in both luck and defense. Everything else, Miriel is better at. As a reminder, to compare the other two, they must be lower or higher than Laurent, but not over any of Miriel's own stats. Looking at Donnel, he's lower in magic and resistance, but higher in skill and speed. Libra is higher in magic, skill, speed, and resistance, with luck being lower than Laurent. And the total is Donnel is at 3 and Libra is at 4.5. A pretty close matchup.
I guess we should move on to the supports, right?
Right. You know what? You started this time, Morgan.
Yay! Let's start with Donnel! C support. Donnel is trying to get Miriel's attention, but she's caught up in a book she's reading. After yelling at her a bit, she finally looks up. Donnel points out she's always in her own world while reading and says she must have studied a lot. Miriel says she's probably studied more than the average person. Donnel then asks her for a favor, to teach him the basics of things like math and science. When asked why, he says he's going to use it to help his village when the war is over. Miriel says she can teach him the basics, but anything else would probably be out of his league. Even if they are, Donnel would find a way to use them. She then asks if he can read, which he can, and then says she won't make it easy for him, or any of her pupils, really. And Donnel says he wouldn't want her to. B support. We come to Miriel ending her lesson with Donnel. And that they covered a lot. She's not surprised about it, but she is surprised how fast he's learning and that he's still interested in all of that after her lesson. Donnel says he's barely keeping up and doesn't have a full grasp on everything. Even so, this is enough for Miriel to continue further with Donnel. She mutters something to herself, though. Donnel notices asking if something is wrong, but she pushes it aside and tells him to review the material for the next lesson. E support. Miriel finished grading Donnel's exam and he got a perfect score? Whoa! Unfortunately, that means Miriel has taught everything she could about the basics to him. so her lessons are stopping there. Donnel is a little upset about it since he enjoyed them. But then Miriel points out learning doesn't end just because her lessons are over. Donnel will now have to learn by himself in everyday life, if I'm interpreting that right. Donnel is put off by that fact a little, but Miriel tries to assure him that if he just applies what he has learned, he will learn even more and build on that. But Donnel would rather do that with Miriel. She, however, rejects the idea. Mostly because she's had partners before, but they never ended well. And it's mostly because she tends to go into new objectives or territory by herself, and she loses people that way as she keeps doing it alone. So she figured it was best for her to keep being alone. Donnel, however, says it's not her fault. It's theirs for not making the effort to keep up with her. To Miriel, this is an interesting theory she probably hadn't considered. Donnel then offers to be by her side and keep up with her since she herself said he was a very fast learner. Asking if he's absolutely sure about this, knowing she may still keep doing things alone, he still says yes. And S support. Asking if her studies have been going well, Miriel says yes because of him. Mostly because he finds a way out of her mental block on various things. Two heads are always better than one. Donnel is happy about this, but wants to ask her something. Miriel then asks if it's about two heads, which is, well, impossible. Maybe. Or if he's having trouble keeping up with her. Which it isn't. Good Donnie being Donnie struggles to find the words and gives her the ring. And that he wants to keep learning with her. Miriel, however, says marriage isn't really a requirement to keep learning. Asking if she's saying no, she then says it could lead to other things and goes on to explain more before Donnel asks if it's a yes or no. And it's obviously a yes.
That one went better than I expected, I guess. On to Libra and Miriel. C support. Miriel is observing Libra being a priest and sharing teachings of Elise or Elise. It's one of those two, right? Somebody clarify it in the comments, please. You guys know how I am with my words. But anyway, to the people, he's teaching those things to people who are willing to listen. But Libra, being Libra, doesn't think it's something to be worthy of being observed. After asking if it actually helped those that listen, Libra says it helps them find something to hold on to during the war, or even in darker days. She then says if it's even worth sharing something like that with them given how helpful it is. Libra says it's worth it and would share it with anyone, but then asks why Miriel is asking. She says the way he's doing it is not very efficient, that it would be better if he could gather everyone at once instead of just one person at a time. Libra was about to say it wouldn't be possible, but Miriel thinks otherwise. Though it's a theory in her head, she thinks she can make it a reality, though with the help of Libra, since she isn't good at preaching. She just has to set it up. B support. Miriel has returned with a plan. Part 1, get a large venue with enough space. Part 2, make sure everybody knows about it, even the nearby villages. Part 3, wind magic will be used to make sure Libra is heard by everyone. Part 4, profit. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Libra stops her in her tracks, which he points out is if he's talking to everyone at once, he can't address individuals that way. Miriel, though, is standing her ground with the fact he shouldn't be, and it's much more efficient in an audience. Sure, Libra points out it would save time and reach more people, but before he could finish, she said it will succeed and any further interaction isn't really necessary. Libra, not being one to reject an idea outright, is willing to give it a try. A support. It seems Miriel's theory isn't working as well as she thought it would. Sure, the first one had a very good attendance, but every single one after had less and less people attend. Libra has noticed this too. This upsets Miriel as the idea was foolproof, but the data isn't lying. Libra then points out that it may work in a sense, but the missing part of it is heart. People people will surely hear the words, but in order for this to be truly effective, it has to have heart behind it as well. People listen for different reasons, and only preaching about something everyone has a problem with, or not something personal, or portraying to a specific person's reasons will make people stop coming. Miriel then says that is probably why they stopped coming, but then asked if Libra knew her plan would fail. Libra says he was skeptical about the whole idea, but it brought a different benefit by going along with it, in which Libra could meet more people he probably couldn't before alone. And because of it, more people will come to Libra one by one for more guidance and such. And it does please Miriel that her plan didn't completely fail. As support, seems there was another gathering. Miriel asked if it was successful, and it was, thanks to her. She is happy she was able to help and also be able to study more about all this. Asking what she learned, she says something close to, the theory is only as strong as the dedication of the person who uses it. It's helping her understand the meaning of heart and help her have a more easier time making her theories be more realistic and transferable to the real world. But Libra then says if she would like to examine the contents of his heart, which... Wow, that is quite a pickup line, Libra. Miriel didn't plan on doing that though. But Libra thought to spark the curiosity in her with a ring. Which Miriel is quick to note that a ring equals proposal, which is... yeah, most of the time that's correct. Libra then asks for her to look inside her own heart, to which she finds all the answers to be illogical, but her ultimate answer is to be yes. Libra then states it's more for her to look into and for her to never lack anything to do if they're married. Which, yeah, she'd have to understand the concept of love and everything that comes with it, including Laurent. Or, well, Lawrence, but really, Laurent, it's... maybe sometimes they call him Lawrence, but it's Laurent. Anyway, with all that done, who is the more fitting father for Laurent? Well, let's see. I've stated before, Laurent is kinda along the lines of being a tactician despite not being one, but by the time he meets up with Lucina and friends, he's the oldest. Being sent back in time farther than the others by, well... wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff, because time travel is bound to have its bumps. Which is why he's 21 by the time he meets them. Therefore, he not only has to keep the responsibilities from before, but also he feels responsible for everyone else now that he is the oldest. And though this could be a trait he gained from Miriel, Miriel doesn't really show this side of her unless she's teaching or has a theory she wants to test. Otherwise, every other hour of the day, she is minding her own business in her own world. True, Laurent can also be distant, as with his support in his father's shows, but he also opens up a lot more easily than Miriel, which is shown in the same support. Which I think is something he got from his father. Not to mention he finds practical uses for things and also looking in on people. But I'm going to say that his most likely father is Libra. And it's one thing I've noticed that they have in common. They both wonder if what they are doing is actually helping people. They both tend to doubt their own actions and praise other people while knocking down their own ability as being less useful than anyone else in the army. You could say this is true for Donnel as well, but Donnel is a lot more confident compared to Libra. Remember, Libra was abandoned as a child, so him having doubt that he's any good, but still willing to help people, might be something he passed down to his son. Laurent then also has these same doubts, not only due to his parents dying, the fight against Rima in the future, but also due to having to wait on Lucina and the others, and basically wondering if they would ever meet again. On top of helping the village he made a home of when you recruit him. So, I stand with Libra being Laurent's father.
So, do we have a wheel?
Not this time, Morgan. Besides, the next child we are going to look over is going to be Lucina anyway. And since it's going upon two theories I have in my mind anyway, it's going to be interesting. Including a board reset, so This is gonna be fun.
But then who's after Lucy?
Well, duh, you and Morgana.
I have to tell Morgana this. Morgana! Morgana! Morgana!
Okay. My son left to find his double. Alright. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this theory. The last one of the year, hopefully if I render this in time. Vegas. If you liked this, check out the other stuff on my channel. I've done more theories, song covers, and some blind let's plays if you're into that. If you want some background noise for doing homework, chores, cooking, or just want to listen to a story, please go listen to Ties of Fate on the HarmonyNet Studios channel. It's an audio play, so you can do anything while listening. And lastly, if you want to support me, there's a Patreon you can take part in, which will give you a title in the stage Discord set up for those that want to come and talk. If not, the Discord link is in the description, so if you still want to be part of the community and don't care about the title, it's down below, along with my Twitter. So I'll see you guys later. Happy New Year. Happy 2019. Jesus, it's been a long time. Bye-bye.
Today